Okay, jumping right in, I'm taking some Vaseline and just applying it on top of my hairs just to make sure that my hairs don't get ripped out with the latex. Now I'm just taking a light brown pencil and outlining just a border to make sure I don't go past this line when I'm applying the latex and the tissue. Now taking the liquid latex and a roll of toilet paper, I'm just going to start stippling the latex around that border with a sponge wedge and then adding little pieces of tissue like so. I just rip it up, put it right on top, and then I'm going to take the sponge once again with more latex and I'm just going to put that over the top, and I'm going to keep on doing that all the way around that border and going down that side of my neck as well. Now the reason I'm doing this is because the Torn Prince, he has half of his face which looks like his skin is all lifted up and sticking out and everything, so I figured this method will be the best for that, and you'll see in a bit why. Now that that's completely dry, I'm just going to repeat the whole entire process. So I'm just going to add some more latex with that sponge and then apply more toilet paper on top and just keep on going all the way down that side of the face and down the neck as well. I'm also going to go back and add some more of that tissue over the brow. His eyebrow is sort of protruding, so I try to add as many layers as I can and then put the latex on top. And when all of this is completely dry, I am going to just powder it to get any shine off of it, and also to make sure that it doesn't stick to itself when I start lifting it off the skin. Okay, now that that is done, here's the fun part. You're going to start peeling it off of the skin. So I'm just taking a small piece and just start peeling it down, and as you go, powder the back of it so it doesn't stick to itself. And I'm making sure that I'm not completely pulling it off. I just want to pull off maybe about half of it, and this is going to give you an illusion that the skin is lifted off of the face and it's all shredded. The Torn Prince actually died in a fiery car crash, so his face is all ripped up on one side. And I'm making sure that I really put powder in the back, and then I'm just rubbing off the extra latex that's stuck to my face. Now it should look like this. It should actually be sticking off the face. That's why I use the toilet paper to give it a little more stiffness. If you were just to use the latex on its own, it would probably flap over each other. That's why I decided to use the toilet paper. Now I'm just starting to tear it up to make it more shredded looking. So I'm just holding it, tearing off pieces here and there as I go. And I keep on looking down because I'm looking at a picture just to reference him. So I am just going to keep on doing that until my liking, and then move on to the next step. Now that I finally got it how I wanted, I'm just going to take a little latex on a cotton swab and just apply it to the back of these pieces and stick them back onto my face so they're actually sticking upwards and not falling over. So I'm just taking everything down, and you could use this if you took too many pieces off, or if it's falling too low, you could always just put a little more latex and just glue it back on. Just hold it for a couple seconds and then you should be good to go. Now I'm taking FX gelatin. I actually have a tutorial on how to make this if you're curious to know how to make it. And I'm just going to start to apply it thinly to the back of the shredded skin to make it appear like it's the inside portion of his head, because on that side he's missing skin and it's showing his skull and, you know, the nasty flesh in the inside. So I'm just mimicking that by putting this on to make it resemble the gross tissue in the inside. So apply it thinly and then start patting with a spatula to make it all bumpy and rigid. Now I have short hair, so this doesn't really have a problem with me getting it off because gelatin usually just slides off in warm water. But if you have longer hair, I would recommend you would put a layer of Vaseline on top of your hair just to make sure that your hair is not going to be ripped out when it comes time to take it off. I'm just going to keep on going around, applying more layers until I like how it looks. Okay, now that's done. I'm just going to take off the loose pieces of gelatin that got on top of the shredded skin. I'm just going to pick it off really quick. Now you know when your gelatin is dry when it feels cool and it's no longer tacky when you touch it with your finger. So now I'm just going to set it all with a loose translucent powder just to take away the shine and to set it even more. And then I'm going to move on to coloring my face. He actually has a blue undertone sort of skin, so I took my lightest foundation, mixed it with white, a very small amount of blue and a very small amount of brown to get his color, or at least close enough to the color that I've seen in the pictures. And then I'm going to put that all over. I'm going to put it all over the fake shredded skin and also bring it down my neck as well. Now I'm just going to put some more of that color that I use on the other side of the face just on top of my ear and in certain areas of the inside of the wound, because from the pictures it looks like he still has some of his skin attached to his ear and certain sections of that side of the face as well. Now I'm just going to start darkening up my eyes. He has a very purplish, sort of bluish coloring around his eyes, so I'm just taking red and blue and I'm going around my eye sockets and just blending it in with my finger and doing the same thing on the other side. Now I'm going to take some more of that red and blue cream paint. I'm just going to bruise up certain areas of my face. And then I'm going to take my foundation brush, the one that I use to put on his skin color. I'm just going to blend this all out. Going in with a red cream paint, I'm just going to start to define the inside of the wound, starting with going behind the flaps of that shredded skin first. Okay, now I'm just going to drag the color inwards and leaving certain spaces open to show the skull, and going back in with the huge brush and the red color again just to give a light wash of that color, and then going back in with the smaller brush just to deepen certain areas to give more dimension to the wound. And I felt like my eyes still weren't dark enough yet, so I went back in with a black cream paint and then just blended that out. Now I'm just going to create his eyebrows. I'm just using a black cream eyeliner to do it and a small angled eyeliner brush. Now going back in with the black cream paint, I'm just going to squish up my lips and go over them just to create, you know, that dead chapped lip sort of look. Now going back into the wound, I'm just taking a white, off-white cream paint, and I'm going into certain areas I left open just to show that it's pieces of my skull showing. And now for the fun part, start adding scab blood. So I'm adding scab blood all to the insides of the flaps of skin, and also to the actual edges of the flaps of skin as well, and certain areas inside of the wound. Now my camera actually died. You didn't get to see me contour that side of my face to make it look a little more masculine. So I did that, and now I'm just setting everything with a translucent powder. And now I'm just applying my liquid blood. Now, I didn't take it into account that on gelatin, it doesn't really hold up with liquids very well, and it was just basically sliding off of it. I really should have just used the scab blood over the entire thing. So if you are doing that, use the scab blood over the entire area, and don't try to use liquid blood, because it doesn't stay on there for long. It starts sliding off because the gelatin is, you know, more of a slippery sort of thing, and it just kept on coming down. So if I could do that part over, I definitely would. But overall, I definitely had fun doing this look. And I just put on my little jacket and I turned myself into the Torn Prince. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Please like, subscribe, and comment. Thank you for watching.